Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Boisterous coming to you with some Platinum League Pandemonium out of the map Antigua Shipyard. Spawning up here in the north position, we have ElfKing as the red Zerg, and over here in the left-hand position, we have Gent, the blue Protoss. Now, this is actually the third time for me to commentate this game all the way through, because of course the first time a phone went off, at, around the ending of the video. And the second time, Fraps decided I did not want to use the mic I had plugged in. So it, checked off, you do not want to use a mic. And sometimes, Fraps, sometimes. Anyway, with both of our players talking about Platinum League. So I'm just really quickly going to tell everybody that's currently watching this to head to, after this video, of course, head on over to youtube.com/KadoinkStudios and check out the 2 games that we commentated together on his channel if you haven't already. Now, of course, you can check out the last 2 games that were posted on my channel before this one. If you want to see the games that are posted on my channel. One of them is 8 minutes long, and I forget who played it, and I forgot to check before I started this recording. And the other one was like 20 minutes long, and it was between I don't know and somebody else. I think I made a joke with his name, and I can't even remember it. Anyway, we have ElfKing going for a spawning pool at his main base. We have like a 12 gate coming out from Gent, so actually kind of an aggressive Protoss play. Now we have the probe just diving around, checking out. This probe is a bit early, cause this probe would have been like a 9 scout, cause he's been in here a while. Now we have the drone going to an interesting-ish spot on the map. Probably actually going to drop a hatchery, which is a ballsy move, especially on this map with the Antigua, with the Zelnaga, which covers like up to here, I think. So it's full sight of your expansion here if you decide to go there. And usually players are pretty prudent about getting the Zelnaga tower, because it's one of those things that will just drive your win rate up. Because getting your hatcheries there, getting your sight on Zelnagas is really, really good and really, really important, especially in the higher leagues. As you get higher, knowledge is power, and I can't stress that enough to you guys that are trying to get up there. Always grab those Zelnaga towers. Always. They're so good. It's basically like having like 8 overlords floating in space, except you only need 1 unit. Now, we have the extractor going down from ElfKing. This is like a 19, maybe an 18 extractor. So this is a roach. Is this a roach play? I think this might be a roach play, because it's definitely too late of a gas to be a speedling play. And yeah, I think that's a roach play. It's a roach FE, of course. But I think this is the extractor timing for a roach play. Yeah, there's the roach worm. So that is going to be a roach play. We have Gent going for 3-4 gateways. So we're going to have a 4 gate coming out from Gent, but roaches are pretty good. They're not bad. They're really not bad against especially the units that come out of 4 gateways. Those stalkers, those zealots, those sentries. Those are only units that the roaches are at least pretty solid against. Now we have ElfKing at his gold right here, and yeah, I think this is a really aggressive play, and this gold base is already up and running, and Gent has no idea about it, like no clue that base is there, and I just went to 1 view instead of E. Whoops. So yeah, and we actually have 2 queens too. This is kind of like the 4 gate protection play. Wow, that's actually really funny. I mean, he has a base that the opponent doesn't know about, so that's kind of goes along with defending against the 4 gate. Now, of course, he doesn't see the pylon, which is very annoying and not awesome for a Zerg player, because scouting proxy pylons is like one of the greatest things ever, especially if you get them like right as they go up and you just snipe it down before anything spawns. It's amazing. Now we have the warp gate coming up, and these Zerglings are coming around. This is one of those times where having a Zelnaga tower really, really would have helped you out. However, we have the Protoss army moving up here. This is a pretty big gateway ball, especially considering the fact that there's only 4 roaches here. This is pretty scary for our Zerg player. One of the roaches does go down. Neither of the queens. What are the queens doing? Why is this queen on the front line? If you have a queen with transmute energy, try to keep her in the back, because if you die with enough energy for a transmute, that's such a huge waste. Now, of course, all these roaches are down, which is not optimal. And there's 5 stalkers and a sentry. Again, not optimal. However, ElfKing has quite a bit of income still. You know, he's at 300, 400 ahead of his opponent. Even with his main base getting torn to shreds. Now, of course, ElfKing calling the bullshit, like a wise man. Like a wise man always does, just call bullshit. And yeah, Gent, wow, Gent. What is with people in calling GG for other people? That has to be like one of the most annoying things ever to watch. Because it's like, it's not a good game yet. I mean, granted, I think he might have just bit his own hatchery a little bit. It's not good game. Don't call that too early. Now, this is kind of bad. There's 3 zealots, and all the drones just got pulled. Now, of course, one thing that zealots are really good against is drones. I'm pretty sure zealots, like, zealots are that unit that I'm afraid is going to like grow up and become a serial killer, because they're just really good at killing the innocent worker units, no matter what they are. Even if it's like the scariest drone or the cutest probe, yeah, they're just there. They kind of maul through it. They don't care. They're like the unit without compassion. Now, of course, we have enough roaches here to shove off any sort of continued attacking forces from the Protoss player. However, this was definitely 17 workers is a pretty solid pressure play. However, the issue is that he's still only 6 workers ahead. He just killed 17, and he's still only 6 ahead. And he's not even ahead on mineral income. That's pretty nasty. Like, that's that's a situation you don't want to be in, especially considering the fact that you have Zerglings camping your expansion. So his expansion is actually going to be insanely delayed. The Zerg player is still ahead 13 on food. So this is actually, you know, this isn't looking that bad for Zerg. I mean, ElfKing basically says it. Painful, not mortal. Like, it's like if somebody just like sliced your hamstring and you're like, dude, why would you do that? He didn't kill you. I mean, like, it hurt. You're probably crying from watching, you know, your hamstring get cut or all your drones from getting killed, but you're not dead. And that's the important part. Yeah. And, I mean, you still have a leg, so you're fine. However, we have the hatchery coming up, and yeah, that hatchery is, what the hell? I mean, just look at this income. Just look at this side by side. He's killed 2 workers. His opponent has killed 17. He's 8 workers ahead, and ahead in both income categories. That shows you the power of the gold base. Like, that alone should tell you exactly why everybody cries gold base OP. However, you know the thing that I don't understand about gold base OP is they essentially had gold bases in Brood War. Because they had bases with 2 geysers, they had bases with no gas geysers. Which is something that's kind of hard to wrap your head around as a StarCraft 2 player, because every base has 2 geysers. But in Brood War, like, there were mineral-only bases. There were bases where you did not get gas out of them. And there were bases with only 1 extractor. Well, your main bases had only 1 extractor. And then there were bases with 2 extractors. So the ones with 2 extractors were like gold bases, essentially, in this game right now. And then the ones with no extractors were like cripple bases. And, like, that's just something that I don't think a lot of people figure out when they post on the forums. Like, why are gold bases still here? They so OP. I guess I can see how they're kind of overpowered in this game just because it has different dynamics than Brood War. But I always just like to point that out to people, that high value bases are not new to this game. Like, they were in a lot of Brood War tournaments. They're still in Brood War tournaments that I currently watch. Because I don't know why, but watching Brood War tournaments Just brings me back. Yeah. And if you guys actually want to see Brood War action, go over to Sale SC on Twitch TV. That guy's awesome. He's a good Brood War commentator. I really like him. He's probably my favorite one. Now we have this Nexus finally wrapping up and getting into the action. However, ElfKing is really far ahead. Like, really far ahead. Alright. Okay, maybe not that far ahead in income. But as far as units go, his standing army is much bigger. He's 19 Roaches, 14 Zerglings, versus 6 Zealots, 4 Stalkers, and 6 Sentries. So we're going to need to see some beautiful force fields if he actually wants to hold this. And where are the... Oh, okay. So, alright, so this is a beautiful force field. Really spectacular force fields. I won't lie, these are pretty awesome force fields. Now if he can only... Alright, he's gonna let them walk up the ramp and then die. That was not the greatest choice, and these force fields are kind of just wasteful, to be honest. Yeah, that started out as one of the most spectacular defenses I have ever seen pulled off by a Protoss player, but then it just stopped. I mean, if you have your opponent's forces force fielded down a ramp, just stay next to the ramp. Keep that upper ground to lower ground positioning. Don't let them come up the ramp and, get onto the same level as you, so that your force fields aren't as effective. Just don't do it. Now, of course, Gent has no sentries, which is not a situation you want to be in when it comes to fighting Roaches, because sentries are a very important unit when it comes to facing any Zerg composition, and especially Roaches, especially when they have a superior force, because Roaches will tear you to shreds, like just absolutely destroy you if you don't force field them off, which is why they have low range. However, yeah, this is looking pretty bleak for Gent, especially considering the fact that this gold base is already mining out, which is kind of all that ElfKing needed. Once this gold base mined out, it's game over. Because think about that, he's already gotten the resources that Gent is going to get in this entire mineral fields, except he just got them earlier and faster in the game. He's probably higher up on tech. Like for example, we have 11 mutalisks on the way. 11 mutalisks, pretty good. Not amazing, pretty good. Now, of course, we have all of ElfKing's forces running away as fast as possible, falling back to something. I don't know quite what they're falling back to. And we have Gent moving out towards the bottom of his ramp, moving out a bit more. And yeah, I don't know what Gent plans on doing. He's getting his attack force up here, but with Mutalisks, I feel like ElfKing has this game in the bag. I don't know quite what ElfKing wants to. Never mind. Gent just gave in. Now, having done this replay a couple times, I'm just gonna treat you guys to this. Just 1 second. So, alright, so let's go to player cam. Alright, so he's like, head on over to that Zelnaga tower. It's all good, just get me information on the map. What's that red dot? Scroll up, scroll down, and Gent has left the game. Watching people leave the game is one of my favorite things to do in StarCraft 2. Like, if you ever get a replay of somebody, just camera view on them, and you'll see them see something and then just kind of be depressed, and usually their screen will move down slightly and then they'll leave the game. So that's just a fun note. So anyway, you guys can head on over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2 to check out any other videos I've done. There's actually another 2 videos over at KadoinkStudios.com, which is a co-cast between me and Kadoink, which is Liquid Hero versus Select, and AIDS versus somebody else on Cloud Kingdom and Core Hull Compound, respectively. You can send any games you want commentated into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. And if you guys have any feedback for any of these videos, especially the videos with the co-cast with Kadoink, please post in the forums over at Battle.net. The thread link will probably be the first thing on the description of this video, because please, I would love feedback on whether you guys want me to do it again or whether you guys don't want me to do it again. because I had a lot of fun with it, so I want to see how you guys felt about it. So anyway, guys, this is Boisterous, signing out.